it's Ellen here again, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Afterglow off of the Lover album on the guitar. So here's a quick overview of everything I'll be covering in this tutorial today, and with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so you only need to know 4 different chord shapes to play through this entire song, and we're going to start with our A major, which looks like this and sounds like this. And by the way, if you don't know how to read these chord charts you're seeing on screen, I do cover how to do that in my free beginner series right here on YouTube, so make sure to check that out right here. The next chord shape is our D major. We also have our E major. And then the last chord is our B minor. And those are the only 4 chords you need to know to play through this song. So go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to really memorize these chord shapes, as well as practice transitioning back and forth between them, because it'll make learning the rest of the song so much easier. And if you're somebody who's currently struggling with bar chords, I do have an entire mini series on my other channel, Forever Faithful, where I go over how to improve on those, so definitely check it out if you need help with that. But once you have these chords under your belt, then we can go ahead and talk about the strumming I would suggest for this song. Now first things first, as I always say, if you are brand new to playing guitar, or you're somebody who struggles with playing guitar while singing at the same time, the first thing I would suggest doing is to bring up the song and go ahead and play through the entire thing with a single down strum on each chord change. And you want to take this time to really just get used to whatever word or whatever syllable you're on whenever those chords are changing. So here's a quick example of what that would look like. Hey, it's all me in my head. I'm the one who burned us down. Alright, so that's just a really quick example, but you would essentially want to do that for the entire song and just really make sure you know where those chords are going to be changing. And this is actually something you do right now if you check out my Patreon page. I do have this entire guide available to download and print out, so I'll make sure to leave that link in the description box if you're interested. But once you get back, we can go ahead and add to this single down strum to create more of a full strumming pattern that you can use for this song. Alright guys, so I've kept this strumming pattern super beginner friendly. As you can see, we're going to be counting in an 1/8 note count, so it's going to sound like this. We have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, mute, down, up, mute. Alright, that's the whole strumming pattern, and it sounds so great with this song because it really mimics that kind of drum beat that we hear throughout it. So basically what you want to do is we're going to apply this pattern 2 times per chord in the verses as well as the first half of the pre-chorus, and then we're going to pare it down just to 1 time per chord for the end of the pre-chorus through the chorus. So basically let's just go through an example. I've got verse 1 pulled up here. On the verses, we're just going back and forth between our A chord and our D chord, and like I said, we're going to play this pattern 2 times per chord. So on A, we have down, up, mute, and then twice. Then you go to your D chord, same thing, down, up, mute, twice. All right? And the most important thing about this strumming pattern is just making sure that you understand the count of it, because you really want to keep this rhythm going. If you play this strumming pattern with the song, it really matches up with that drum beat, so it sounds really good. And then one other thing I wanted to show you guys is for that muted kind of beat there on beat 3, something you can do is you can just kind of stop the strings by taking your right hand and just, you know, kind of like covering your string, so when it's ringing, it just like mutes it. But another thing that you can do, which I actually like to do, is I'll add kind of a chuck instead of a mute there. And what I'm doing there is when I'm going on that 3rd beat, I'm gonna still strum down, but I'm using the palm of my hand that has the pick in it, and I'm like muting the strings while I strum down, so it'll mute them, and it kind of gives this like sound. It's kind of the same as when we were practicing the rhythm, okay? But you're gonna accomplish that with just your right hand by taking the like more fleshy part of your palm and just like putting it on the strings as you strum down. So you see, you can even make this sound without holding any chord shapes on your left hand, okay? So that's another option. You can either just mute it by like slapping it, or you can kind of do a chuck. So now that we've addressed that kind of muted or chucked strum, let's go ahead and see how that applies to the song. So I've got verse 1 up right now, and like I said, we're gonna play this pattern through 2 times for each chord. So it'll be like this. We've got A, D, twice, 1 and 3, You got it. I blew things out of proportion, now you're blue. Put you in jail for something you didn't do. I pinned your hands behind your back. Oh, thought I had reason to attack, but no. Alright, same thing going into the pre-chorus here. We're gonna do 2 times for the A and the D. Fighting with a true love is boxing with no gloves. Chemistry till it blows up, till there's no us. Alright, and from this last half of the pre-chorus moving into the chorus, the only thing that's changing is now we're gonna play this pattern just 1 time through per chord. But I have to break what I love so much. It's on your face, and I'm to blame, I need to say. Alright, and throughout this song, because it's very like slow moving, there's gonna be a lot of times where I would suggest just a simple down strum and let it ring, and that's all these like little starred notes here, okay? So that was an example, was that D to end the pre-chorus, and then moving into the chorus, we do the same thing. Hey, it's all me in my head. I'm the one who burned us down. Alright, and this strumming pattern you can apply for the entire song. It sounds really great, but one thing that I like to do is on the choruses, I kind of like to build it up a little bit more. So what I'll do there is I'll add a few extra strums at the end. So let me go ahead and add an extra down and up strum at the end of this strumming pattern. And basically it's exactly the same beginning. We've got down, up, mute or chuck, and then on 4 and we're gonna go 4 and. Okay, so we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Alright, totally optional if you want to add it in, but I do think if you kind of move to this strumming pattern for the choruses, it really like builds it up and like kind of brings in some of that empty space. So on the chorus we would have A, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. To E, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. B minor, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. To D. So all we're doing here is adding that little down up extra at the end. But with the chorus, with this more full strumming pattern, it would sound like this. Hey, it's all me in my head. I'm the one who burned us down, but it's not what I meant. Sorry that I hurt you. Alright? So that's just my suggestions for strumming. It's very beginner friendly. As long as you can kind of get that rhythm going, then I think a combination of this more simple rhythm plus the more filled in with the down up at the end, plus just some single down strums kind of throughout, really like builds the song and kind of mimics the same feeling that you get in Taylor's version. So that's my suggestion for strumming. All right guys, so again, go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to really get this strumming rhythm under your belt. Like I said, the more full version is totally optional. You could totally stick with just the down up mute. That sounds great throughout the song as well. But once you have this, then we can go ahead and put together everything we've learned to play through the song. I blew things out of proportion, now you're blue. Put you in jail for something you didn't do. I pinned your hands behind your back. Oh, thought I had reason to attack, but no. Fighting with true love is boxing with no gloves. Want to have fun jamming out to the rest of this song with me? Then make sure to check out my Patreon page where you can unlock access to this as well as all my other Swiftie sing-along guitar tutorials. I've covered so many of her songs from all the different eras, so if you're somebody who loves to play Taylor's songs on the guitar, I would definitely recommend checking it out. I will link it down below. If you enjoyed learning this song with me, then you should definitely check out this video. Not only does it have a super similar vibe and feel, but it's just as fun and easy to play. So I'll see you over there. Bye!